Have we ever been ostracized by family? Have we ever been falsely accused, even by a few religious people? Do we suffer in other ways? Let's learn to appreciate the majority of our church family that shares our suffering and our hope. Let's look at Mark 3, verses 20 to 35, and 2 Corinthians 4, verses 13 through chapter 5, verse 1, and the eternal hope that unites Christians as a family. Mark 3:20 to 22 says, "Then the multitude came together again, so that they could not so much as eat bread. But when his own people heard about this, they went out to lay hold of him. For they said, 'He's out of his mind.' And the scribes who came down from Jerusalem said, 'He has Beelzebub,' Beelzebul, and by the ruler of the demons he casts out demons." The disciples were so busy with the crowds, they didn't have time to eat. Jesus' own family thought he was crazy, and the scribes revealed their hearts by accusing him of using the Lord of Dung, the devil, to drive out demons. The things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Mark 3:23 to 27 says, "So he called them to himself and said to them in parables, 'How can Satan cast out Satan? If a kingdom's divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan has risen up against himself and is divided, he cannot stand, but has an end. No one can enter a strong man's house and plunder his goods unless he first binds the strong man, and then he'll plunder his house.'" Jesus is not afraid of puffed-up religious authorities and reveals how illogical their accusations are. In fact, Jesus binds the devil. The things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. In Mark 3, verses 28 to 30, Jesus said, "Assuredly I say to you, all sins will be forgiven the sons of men, and whatever blasphemies they may utter. But he who blasphemes against the Holy Spirit never has forgiveness, but is subject to eternal condemnation, because they said he has an unclean spirit." Quite simply put, because they falsely accused the work of the Holy Spirit in Jesus as being that of the devil, they were dangerously close to the unforgivable sin. That's a warning to any who are tempted to join them in falsely accusing the work of the Holy Spirit on earth, including what the Holy Spirit's doing in us. The things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Mark 3:31 and 32 says, "Then his brothers and his mother came, and standing outside they sent to him, calling him. And a multitude was sitting around him, and they said to him, 'Look, your mother and your brothers are outside seeking you.'" In the culture of the time, the word brothers could encompass all the meanings that today's Christian churches attach to them. Some see them as half-brothers with the same mother, Mary. Others see them as step-brothers, with Mary having married an older Joseph as widower with children. All such meanings are possible. It seems that Mary was also seeking him, thinking like his brothers that he was crazy. The things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Mark 3, verses 33 to 35 says, "But he answered them, saying, 'Who is my mother, or my brothers?' And he looked around in a circle at those who sat about him, and said, 'Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of God is my brother and my sister and mother.'" Christ bonded more with his disciples than physical family. Our human families may not understand the spiritual bond we Christians share. That's why it's so important to choose a Christian spouse. If already married to an unbeliever, they are made holy by the believer. The things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. 2 Corinthians 4, verses 16 and 17 says, "Therefore we do not lose heart. Even though our outward man is perishing, yet the inward man is being renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Accusations are trials. We look upon all trials as our servants, helping us grow in grace, and as spiritual fire, purging us of sin. That's not to minimize our present suffering, but to encourage us to look forward to our hope and contrast our trials with an eternity of utter joy, where they'll seem but a light affliction. The things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 18 through chapter 5 verse 1 says, "While we do not look at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. For we know that if our earthly house, this tent, is destroyed, we have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens." Let's take our minds off what we see, our worldly worries, and focus on what's unseen. Our perspective changes. Everything in this world is temporary, and our eternity waits. Meditation on this invisible hope is a necessary Christian habit. The things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Whether we're ostracized by family, falsely accused by a few religious people, or suffer in other ways, we look around at our church family and realize that most are our brothers and sisters and mothers who share our hope. And that hope transcends the trials of this world as we meditate together and encourage one another about our eternal hope, when all the present suffering will seem but a momentary pain in time. For the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal.